Hello, everybody. Welcome to iSchool Connect. Like every week, we're back with another exciting episode. And today, in this video, we're going to discuss all about study abroad in the UK. And we have with us on board Ms. Khushbu Kandar from the iSchool Connect counseling team. And she'll be assisting us with all the basic questions that are there regarding study abroad. And we collated a list of frequently asked questions about study abroad in the UK.
This channel is what studying abroad dreams are made of. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon.
So, Ms. Khushbu has 6+ years of experience in counseling, and she expertises in UK and Ireland. She's helped students to get admitted into University College London, University of Warwick, University of Nottingham, London School of Economics, University of Liverpool, and a few others. Welcome, Ms. Khushbu.
Thank you, Chahat, for the lovely introduction and for having me here. I hope I am able to answer all your questions and the basic, questions that most of the students have with regards to study abroad in UK and other countries. So let's get started.
So we'll start with our list of questions. The first basic question which students usually have is that we see an upward trend in the number of students who are applying to the UK. According to you, why are students actually preferring to study in the UK?
As you rightly said, that there have been upward trend. Students are looking at UK as a destination. There are a couple of reasons to that. Firstly, of lately, they have started the PSW, that is post-study work visa, which they did not had until 2020. And the student has 2 years of stay back option after they finish undergrad or master's course in the UK. That is one of the most, important reasons that students have started reconsidering UK as a destination for their further studies. Also, the best part about UK is they offer 1-year master's degree in case if the students are looking for a master's course. So the students do not have to invest time and money for 2 years. And the degree is globally recognized. So that is, again, the second reason that, there is an upward trend for the students to consider UK as a destination. So, yeah, this is the reason that, students have started reconsidering UK as a destination.
The second question for today shall be, what exactly are the requirements for a student to study in UK?
UK has the most lenient entry requirement if we compare with any other countries. So they do accept, 15 years of education, since our education system and their education system goes hand in hand. It's basically we go parallelly to their education system. So 15 years of education is accepted. As such, for an entrance exam, only IELTS is the requirement. Very few UK universities ask for a GRE GMAT as an entrance exam. So just the basic English proficiency test, that is IELTS, and 15 years of education, and you're good to go.
Thank you. And what exactly are the universities that waive off the study abroad test? Because we already know there are plenty of exams students have to undertake while applying for any universities abroad. So in particularly with reference to UK, what exactly, are there any universities that waive off the study abroad test? Can you name a few for us?
Yes, surely I can name few, but before that, I would like to add one thing to that is not all the universities give a waiver on IELTS. Few universities give a waiver on the IELTS, and there are requirement to get a waiver on the IELTS, that the universities look at standard 12th English scores. So it could be state board, CBSE board. So the entry requirement will differ from board to board. And universities like Brunel University, London, Kingston University, University of Liverpool, Cardiff University, And the list goes on. There are the few universities that give a waiver on the basis of the IELTS, and it also depends on case-to-case basis.
But if you be particularly looking for among the top universities to apply for, they'll definitely ask for an IELTS exam, right? The basic.
Yes, there are few universities like Queen Mary University of London, Cardiff University, which are Russell Group universities. Wherein these universities, they do consider standard 12th English depending on the board that the student has studied. And few universities, they also accept MOI, that is medium of instruction letter. And on that basis, universities give waiver on the IELTS.
Okay, so Kushbu, there's a myth amongst the students that UK is a very expensive country to study in. Is it actually true?
I completely agree, as you said, a myth, because actually it is a myth. It is not expensive because the minimum tuition fee for an undergrad course or a PG course, we also call it as master's course, is minimum 14 to 15,000 pounds.
Yeah,
that's the minimum. And the living expense can go beyond, can range between 9,000 to 12,000 pounds, anywhere between 9,000 to 12,000 pounds. There are also an options for scholarships, which can range from 10% to 100%. So the tuition fee that I mentioned, that is minimum 14 to 15,000 pounds, it is without scholarship. And if the student gets any scholarship, it can go as low as 11 to 12,000 pounds also. It completely depends on the scholarship, but otherwise it is minimum 14 to 15,000 pounds. So I think students should be aware that UK is not expensive and it is manageable to, study in the UK.
okay. And do institutions in the UK accept the 10 plus 2 plus 3 education system as of India?
Yes, as I rightly said earlier, since our education system and their education systems go hand in hand, like we go parallelly, and hence 15 years of education is acceptable. Student did not require 16 years of education. They can go for 10 plus 2 plus 3 course, and can look at, master's course in the UK.
So as for an Indian student, there won't be an issue while applying to UK in regards to the degrees and the diplomas which they gain from India.
Definitely, because as I said earlier, our education system and their education system go hand in hand. We go parallelly. So they do accept 15 years of education. And after studying undergrad degree here in India, students can definitely look at master's course in the UK.
And we, as we already discussed about the living expenses and the tuition fees, about is it a myth that it's expensive? So as for a student, every student would want to work while studying and manage their own living expenses by themselves. So can students work along with their studies in the UK?
Yes, definitely. As you said that these days students do want to, manage their expenses by themselves. So yes, definitely they can do that. And the trend that I have seen with, Indian students is for the tuition fee, they're either dependent on their parents or on the bank loan. And living expense, they work part-time because legally you can work for 20 hours per week while your course is on. And full-time when you have breaks like Easter break, summer break, etc., etc. So that time you can work full-time. So students can easily manage their living expense while working part-time.
And there was some new amendment which also came recently, right, regarding the work rules and the work visa. The work rules as the students get.
Yes. So as I said, I think since 2012 until 2020, there wasn't any stay back option in the UK. Students just had 4 to 6 months after they finished their course to look for a job. If they get a job, fine. If not, then they had to return back to India. But now that scenario has changed because now student will have 2 years of stay back option in the UK post their completion of master's degree. and they can look for a job, and if they get a job, they can start working.
Because usually students used to consider Canada as an option for the same reason. But now when UK has opened their stay back option for the students, it's become easier for them to apply.
Definitely. As I said, the post-study work visa has really helped, to the students, because UK is a country wherein, you can get a very different and a very niche courses. So UK is a country wherein my personal experience says that in case if you're looking for any particular course, if not any country, UK will definitely have that course. That is the best part about UK. Plus, the added advantage now is this 2 years of stay back option post completion of the master's degree. So, yes, students are, looking forward to it.
Thank you. And there's a term we often come across while reading about UK, and it's called CAS. Can you elaborate on what exactly CAS stands for?
Yes, so CAS is basically confirmation of acceptance for studies. We call it as CAS. Okay. This is the document that is released by the university. Without this document, the student cannot apply for the student visa. And this document, CAS, basically is released only after fulfilling all the academic and non-academic conditions. Now, academic conditions could be, let's say, bachelor's degree or maybe IELTS, portfolio submission, etc., depending on case-to-case basis. And non-academic could be deposit payment. Now, deposit payment can range from £1,000 to 2,000, 3,000. It differs from university to university. So once the student fulfills all the academic and non-academic conditions, CAS is released by the university, and then the students can apply for the student visa.
And what all months are the intake months with UK?
They have 3 intakes. The major intake is fall intake, which we also call it, it's somewhere in September, October. Then the second major intake is spring intake, which is Jan, Feb. And the third intake is summer intake, which is a very small intake because hardly 2 to 3 universities have summer intake. That is generally April, May. So these are the 3 intakes, UK they offer. And major intake is fall intake, because most of the universities are open for fall intake.
How long does it take for a UK student visa?
So the standard visa processing time is 15 working days, but they do have options like priority visas and super priority visas. That depends on the situation. It is not like definitely recommended that students should go for priority or super priority, because it has added extra cost. But otherwise, the standard visa processing time is 15 working days.
Okay. And is it true that you need a specific bank balance to apply for the student visa in UK?
Are right that specific amount is required to be shown in the account. It could be via education loan, it could be via savings account, or it could be via fixed deposits. Anything is fine. So basically, the total of the entire tuition fee plus the living expense is required in the bank account or via education loans. So yes, a specific amount is required depending on the the tuition fee that the university has, and the living expense depending on which city the student will be living. So once you add up these cost, that amount the student will have to show in the bank account for 28 days.
I think we've answered almost all the questions pretty on point. Khushbu, thank you so much. We have one last question, which shall be, what are the frequently asked questions for a UK student visa interview?
All right. So the student needs to be well researched about the course that the student is going for. Student needs to know how the student is going to fund the education in the UK. What is her or his future plans after the student completes the course? Okay. And a few things about family and what does the father do, what does the mother do. So these are the basic questions. No other general knowledge questions, just about what you're going for, what research you have done, and why you want to go for it. So these are the basic questions that the student may face at the time of student visa interview.
So the students absolutely do not need to freak out before a visa interview.
Definitely not, because the universities do help with the credibility interview. There are a few set of questions that are available, wherein the student can prepare before going for the interview. But my personal recommendation or suggestion to all the students is just make sure that you have done well research, because that is how it will help you to crack the interview. And it shouldn't be like a rote learning that you have mucked up everything. No, it has to be spontaneous. You have to use the presence of mind and be truthful, be transparent, and you're good to go.
Thank you so much, Khushbu, for answering all the questions. All of them were quite elaborate. And I guess our viewers could get an idea about the basic questions which could be asked. And it might have definitely enhanced their knowledge about UK. And thank you once again for being on board. And here we come with the end of this live session. I hope it was informative. And if you like this video, and for more updates about such content, like and subscribe to iSchool Connect. And we make sure that we keep creating such content every week. Thank you so much, Khushbu.
Thank you, Chahat. And I hope I have answered most of the question in a right way, and it will be helpful for the students to, have the information. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you so much.